All right, let's talk about. You want to talk about Apple here?
Yeah, let's switch gears there.
Okay. Just when Apple corrected their major problems, it looks like, well, there was a management drain. I'm going to call it a brain drain because it's not just management. Apple, again, we talked about it. That we were concerned with them. They had a lot of problems. They did a great job handling the proposed tariffs on its products, which would have, keep in mind, that would have devastated the company. Also, in court, they managed I forget the gentleman's name now, that testified in court, did a great
I say
job.
it's like Eddie Q or something.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Eddie Q it was, yeah. And they got to keep the $20 billion a year they receive from Google. But now they seem to be fighting a management exit by some of their top executives. Now, just over the last few weeks here, it was announced that both their general counsel, and that's very important, he's the guy that runs the whole legal department, and head of policy, also running the legal department, they're going to be retiring next year.
And another major concern was also announced in that time frame that their head of artificial intelligence and strategy is also going to retire. Making matters worse, their chief operating officer said he'll be retiring in July of next year. But it looks like right now you don't have to worry about CEO Tim Cook being age 65. He said he is not considering retirement. And people at the company said he is not slowing down at all. I did want to go back to the head of artificial intelligence and strategy. I mean, some people think maybe this is a positive because their AI strategy has been pretty lacking, to say the least.
Yeah, that could be true, but still, he obviously got there for a reason. Well, that probably wouldn't be under the legal department side. That's probably under the research side.
Yeah.
So, but it's not good that he's going to retire. But it was also announced that Meta has taken from Apple a top designer. His name was Alan Dye. Also, Johnny Ive.
Johnny Ive.
Johnny Ive is that? There's
that's
no.
how you say it.
Yeah, Johnny. Looks
Johnny
like,
Ive. Yep.
I guess Johnny would have an A in there, wouldn't it? Yeah. So Johnny Ive, who was Steve Jobs' protege and helped build the iPhone along with the Apple Watch. These are two major things that's going on. Well, he's heading over to OpenAI to help out who? Sam Altman. It's not just the top people leaving, though, as apparently dozens and dozens of Apple's engineers, along with designers, and these are very important people who are knowledgeable in audio, watch design, robotics, and much more, are also finding a new home where? OpenAI.
And I think that one, if I was an Apple shareholder, would be the most concerning. Reason being is, people keep talking about, obviously the iPhone was transformational. At some point, there's going to be something new that is transformative like the iPhone. I don't know if it's going to be in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but at some point there will be something transformational that could really hinder smartphone sales. That Johnny Ive guy seems to have a pretty good track record, and it seems like, again, he's pulled some of the top talent away from Apple. That could be a big concern.
Oh, yeah, and there could be more to come as well.
Yeah. But, you look at running a major technology company like Apple and striving for new innovation, it makes it difficult when a company is losing top management and star engineers and designers. And I don't think this will cause a major drop in the stock in the short term, but it could be difficult long term for the company when it comes to innovation and new products, as I mentioned, which could concern investors in the years to come. And, that's kind of, again, the big concern I have is I don't even know what it could be. Could it be something just in the palm of your hand where you click and there you go, there's your whole world? I don't know. But there will be something that will change how we use smartphones at some point down the road.
Oh, yeah, it's not going to stay the same. And I remember before, I mean, we worry a lot because we're very conservative, and the worries we had, they were corrected. But this one, I don't know how you correct this because, again, there's a brain drain. And Apple's doing fine now. Everybody's focused on the iPhone sales for the Christmas holiday season here. So, oh, yeah, it's doing great. But what are they going to do for an encore? And again, when you start looking longer term, as you pointed out, you've got to have new innovation coming in. If you're losing your top people going to OpenAI, they could be the lagger. And they traded high multiple still.
Oh, they traded a very high multiple still. I think in the high 20s, low 30s potentially in terms of their forward multiple. And, we actually did another post on the newsletter here this past week about Meta. Meta as well, they are really striving for product.
Right.
And, whether it's an AI glass that they're using, and I say the Ray-Ban glasses, that could potentially steal market share away how we use the smartphone. Mm-hmm. And I personally right now can't foresee myself doing that, but who knows? I mean, something will come along that changes our view of the smartphone. And the big thing Meta's talked about is, kind of maybe having their own type of like app store.
Yeah.
right? Apple right now, they've created this, they call it kind of the walled garden, so to speak, where they control everything that goes on in that app store. And Meta's like, we don't want to have to deal with that anymore. We want our own app store,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that could be a huge problem. Whoever can create this next product, whether it's OpenAI or Meta, and then you create your own app store, I mean, now you're just siphoning money off of Apple. And, you know, the top dog doesn't stay the top dog forever. And Apple's
Yeah.
been a top dog for quite a while.
Quite a while. And also, too, who wins here is the consumer. And that's why you have to be careful because competition's great with the consumer. It is great these big companies are competing, coming out with new products. But again, it can really hurt the companies because if they're trading at high multiples and they lose all these people, then the stock falls. Again, consumer wins, but be careful about where you invest your money because there could be problems. And again, people say, oh, well, you were on Apple before. No one knew how that lawsuit was going to come out or that they were going to fix a tariff situation. So.
Yeah. I wouldn't say we were wrong. It's just, again, we were skeptical. And I'm still skeptical of a company that trades at 30 times earnings because we always go back to this. And this could be, as I said, you don't know the future. And I'm not willing to overpay for a company because, as I said, 5 to 10 years from now, who knows what could be the new smartphone? And you go back to when the smartphone was created, what has that done to the Nokias of the world? Remember, again, the BlackBerry? That was like cool and innovative. Or the Razor flip phone. Wow, that thing was sweet back in the day. But those are no longer mainstream. They're no longer cool. And at some point, it could be very possible that the iPhone is no longer cool.
Did you see, and I've considered Samsung, they've come out with a trifold phone that unfolds and is about the size of a cell phone, so you're going to have it that way. But if you want to, you can unfold it 3 times, not twice, but 3 times, and you almost have a tablet in your pocket.
Oh, it is so funny when Apple, I mean, just the fact that they've sold people on this brand so well, and you have to give them credit. But they are far behind the other players in terms of the technology. I mean, Samsung's had the foldable phone now for, I don't know, a couple of years. And I saw Google Pixel, they now have a foldable phone. And it's like Apple, they're talking about next year it being a big thing. And it's like, it's been a while.
I mean, I probably need a new phone. Maybe next year I might consider that Samsung triphone because that sounds pretty cool. So we'll see what happens in 2026. But
It's too techie for me. Sometimes I consider going back to the dumb phone and maybe getting a Razor. I don't know.
But just think about it. To unfold that phone, you got to, because that's as you get older, it's harder to see things. So, wow, great. Now I can see this whole big thing, not this little phone. So,